Drills Talk, episode 8. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 5 reasons the music industry is not what you think. It's based off of a blog I wrote entitled, Is the Music Industry All It's Cracked Up to Be? Now, this was about, I'd say, 4 to 6 months into my leap of faith into the music industry, leaving the corporate world and discovering some things that are not what I expected them to be, not what I thought they would be, and what my, I guess, newly found knowledge was and is, and how that can help you. So let's get into it right now. Number 1, it's full of politics. I left the corporate world to basically get into another one. The music industry is absolutely full of politics. You got your DJ groups. You have your family of stars who, think that they should be treated just as stars themselves. You have influencers who are, I guess that's the name for just popular fans who believe that, they have some say in things, and you have to schmooze to them too if you want them to, play your song or mention your name in a post or, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But again, the politics are something that was a big surprise to me, but it is a huge part of the game. So if you don't want to play that, you might not want to get into this industry. You might not want to jump into this one. Politics are a huge factor. Of course, you have your big labels, you have your smaller labels, you have your labels from rich people who just don't know what to do with their money, and they're starting a label. The politics that come with that is, okay, they know everybody who they need to know. You don't. They have all the money. You don't. So basically you can kind of gather what kind of deal you're going to be signing into by getting into a deal with them, with any of them. I would say from the small label head who's happen to be rich and have a lot of money, to the mid labels who's been around for a while and know the ins and outs of the business, and the big labels who you're basically a number unless you strike a hit, and for some reason they just take a liking to you and say, you know what, we're gonna continue to put money behind you and make you a star. There's a lot of things that go into it, a lot of favors that are done, a lot of things that I don't really want to talk about right now in this thing, but you can imagine a lot of things go on that get people into the positions that they're in, that get people out of the positions that they were in. I guess you get to a certain level, and then there's a level up type of thing that you can either do or not do. But that's just part of the politics. I mean, you take it to in the politics that everybody else knows, as far as governors and mayors and blah blah blah. They have their influencers. They have their people that they have to schmooze to and keep happy, which is the people who help them get to where they were. So very similar to that in the music industry, you have, okay, let's say new artists from such and such anywhere USA. He gets on or she gets on. They have a decently sized hit. I mean, let's say it's top 10, and they have to now reach back, or they're expected to reach back. And really, a new artist doesn't have any time to even think to reach back if the people who they should be reaching back for is not surrounding them, because there's absolutely no time and no downtime of any type for a while, especially if you have a hit record, to actually let everybody know that, hey, I didn't abandon you, I'm coming back. But then you have the people they met during their, I would say, their grind before they got the hit. So whoever they met, maybe somebody who let them perform a lot, now they're expected to go and perform at that venue for free, just to look out and pay back from all the times that they paid nothing themselves. So do they have time to do that? Or do they want to do that? Did they feel that they would ever have to pay that back? They probably didn't really feel that they would, but yeah, they have to. What about the the promoter and then now the first manager who probably is really looking for some sort of finder's fee from the label, and you yourself, and it's just like it just gets you just all of a sudden a lot of hands will start just reaching out to you, and not in a helping way. Is palm up, and that's just part of the game. It's part of the politics. Schmoozing comes back into play pretty much for anybody who doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, new to the game, don't know who to be nice to, or don't know who they need to stay away from. It's just kind of a walk on eggshells game, unless you don't care and you're gonna risk that I guess rubbing somebody the wrong way that you shouldn't have rubbed the wrong way, and potentially not having your music played, or potentially not being able to book a venue in a certain city. Nowadays, I guess you can get over that with the internet and building your own social media. But I mean, starting out, you definitely don't want to ruffle any feathers. But I mean, I have, and I'm fine. So, which if you want to do it, do it. But it is a politics game in the music industry. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. But I thought that it's especially people who watch my videos should absolutely know that if you want to get into this is definitely number one. The number one surprise you'll probably run into pretty early. Number two, no one really knows each other. So, I remember listening to Biggie when I was like a very, very young kid, and probably shouldn't have been listening to him. But, he was like, such and such hangs out with such and such, and everybody's cool, and, everybody's just, singing Kumbaya. Everybody's supporting each other, and that's absolutely not what is. People are pretty cliquish. Usually they're staying to themselves. I'm talking the star. The star stays to themselves. You'd have to talk to their uncle or their cousin or their best friend or their girlfriend to eventually get to them. And there's just like these barriers to these people, which, over time you'll understand why they're there. Some people don't need to get to you, and eventually you just start creating these barriers to where the first person they talk to, you may not even talk to that person. It's like 3 other steps before it even gets to you. And it's a sort of, defense mechanism against the craziness that goes on. And, a lot of people can't handle it and want to just get away. So, if you see or hear of an artist who is just like seemingly crazy, antisocial, it's pretty common, actually. They don't really rub shoulders with anybody. They can't really trust to have everybody that close to them, and hopefully it's understood because it's a common practice in the music industry. You may see somebody, like if you live in a big city, if you're in New York City or you're in LA or you're in Atlanta or Miami, you may walk the streets in popular places and run into them. But as far as them being open and saying, hey, this is an up and coming artist, let me take the time to, listen to what they're going to say, and, take a couple of pictures and, exchange business cards, it's, not always going to happen. I don't want that to, mess up your day or, discourage you from chasing your dream. It's just you doing that is you doing that, and you, and that you're not coming from an ill place, but thousands of people do that. And out of 1,000 people, it only takes one bad seed or one bad person to let too close to you, and tragedy can occur. So, please understand that occurs. Don't take it the wrong way. There's other ways to get around to getting to the actual person you're trying to get to, and you have to go through those barriers. So back to the fact that they don't know each other. So we have songs that are made, let's say me in the role of producer, sending a track to New York and verses being laid, and then me getting that, and there's no glue to it. There's no chorus. Like the verse is about some things that you can make one chorus, make it glue, but ideally you would want the chorus first. but there isn't one. So what do? You're going to find somebody that's going to write a chorus. Now, in this scenario, I'm saying that I don't write that, but I actually do pretty much everything. But say I don't, and I'm the producer, and I got this song with 2 verses on there, and the chorus place is empty. So I find another artist to sing the hook online, right? So I'm on social media, and I find this singer from California. I hit her up. She says, sure, I'll do the song. Cool. I send her the song. She writes the hook. It actually meshes all the verses that came from New York. Sounds like a complete song now. I mix and master it. Complete song. Give it back to the artist in New York. The artist releases it. It's doing well. It's doing okay. But now what? I'm here. They're there. The person who sings the chorus is in California. We don't really know each other at all. We've worked together kind of, remotely. But there's no, I would say, glue there. There's no chemistry there. Chemistry is the right word. We worked together, we completed a song, but there's no chemistry in the song. And a lot of times in that case, you can hear it. Another big issue with not knowing the people you're working with is when that artist is performing that song, how often is the person that's singing the hook going to be there? Probably never. Probably never. Or when they're ready to shoot that video, is the person going to fly in from California? I mean, probably not. I mean, this has to be like a huge mega hit for an artist to fly across the country to be in a video for an artist that they've worked with, kind of, but never met and don't really know. It's probably not going to occur. So, just take an artist that you like and they're in a song where somebody's featured in it, and you go to see them perform and you get excited because they're playing the song. And if they're playing the song, then everybody has to be there. But then they do the first verse, and then they do the second verse, and now the feature's coming, and then the song changes because the feature artist is not there. Yeah, because they don't really know the featured artist. And even if they called before the show and say, hey, I have a show in Houston, I know that you're in Chicago, but can you fly? Not for that one show. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to get on a 200 and something plus flight to make $150 to $200. Nope, not going to do that. Sorry. And what can you say? You can't be mad at the person. You don't know the person. You have to understand because they're, on the other side of the country. But this is the danger in, I would say, the danger we have to deal with in the benefit of what today is, which is like everybody is reachable with social media. Yeah, I can work with somebody in Germany. Yes, I can work with somebody in South Africa. It's absolutely great. But as far as that finished product and marketing that song when it's finished, it's extremely hard when all the pieces are scattered. So definitely you want to keep that in mind. Try to work with people that are in your city or close to your city or in your group if you have a group. Because when you guys travel, not only can you perform your whole songs, but you are giving the audience what they're expecting, which is exactly what they heard in the song. Number three is that record labels are a shell of what they used to be. It is no longer I signed to a label and I'm good. There's this, huge machine behind me and, I can't really fail. It's actually no different than starting on your own now. Yes, these big labels have connections in where you can probably get on the radio if they force them or pay, which is illegal, to get your song played, but it happens. They have their own playlists on, the streaming services, so that helps to get your name out there. It's like that's a benefit. It's cool, but you are absolutely getting no sort of artist development. You're getting no personal type of attention, because right now the labels are just like the music industry. It's all digital. It's not a 250, 300, 400 people or 400 person group working in a building trying to make sure that you and your project is making it. It's 10 or less with 30 or more artists. So how much attention are you getting? You're definitely not getting any development. That's not occurring. You have to be ready when you come to them. And if you're not ready, then they're not going to know what to do with you. And eventually, after sitting for 2, 3, 5 years, I've heard 7 years the most, and then you just sitting and waiting, and hopefully you get dropped from the label so you can start your independent life and release music like an artist should be able to. But yeah, the record labels being a shell of themselves. Back in the day, you signed to a label, and that label signing you was like a belief in you. That was a hey, we believe in you. We're gonna push you, and not only can we push you, but we can put you in stores, which is not needed anymore, right? We can get you videos on TV. Who watches videos on TV? Name a couple of shows. I can't. But there used to be hundreds of them, right? Countdown shows, videos of the week, all this good stuff that I don't see it anymore. So it's basically YouTube, right? And you have the ability to go on YouTube and upload your own video and market your own video. So do I really need a label to do that? I don't really think so. Like, would you want a record label to, on your behalf, which you're going to hear a lot if you actually sign with a label, we're doing this on your behalf, to create a channel on YouTube that they're going to build and basically give you, millions of followers, because you're going to get them just based off of being on that label, right? So, if the label has millions of followers and this is our new artist, hey, go follow our new artist. And now, boom, you have millions of followers or subscribers if we're talking about YouTube. And your video's getting millions of views. Is crazy. But, I mean, why can't you sell out a show? Why are you getting millions of views on your video and millions of plays on the streaming services, but no one's coming to see you? Something's wrong, right? Something has to be wrong there. So I'm going to tell you what's wrong. What's wrong is everyone on that label gets those numbers because that's the minimum that that label is going to allow to be seen. They're not going to allow that. They can control the streams because they own part of the streaming services, or they own at least the playlist that they know is very popular, and they know what they're going to get if they, put you in a playlist at the number 1 song or the top 10 song or top 20 song. They have years of data on this stuff now, so they know. I mean, even if this song's not good, we can make a good such and such on it. But as far as what you're going to make on it, that's what we need to talk about. You're signing to a label which is all about making money. They're not about making you, the artist, the next biggest artist in the world. Now, if you become the biggest artist in the world, great. But it'll have a lot to do with what you did and not much to do with what they did. But because they're doing you a favor and doing all this stuff on your behalf, understand that the money that they gave you to sign is debt. And the agreement that you signed basically gives them control of your entire career, because the minimum usually is about 5 albums. And if you think about most artists, they don't really get past 2 or 3. Now, you sign for 5. Oh, and if you actually get to 5, they usually have options to add another 1 or another 5. So yeah, you're basically, under their control for your entire career. For whatever little money, and no matter what the amount is at that point in time, if you're successful enough to come out with 5 records, 5 albums, whatever you want to call it, whatever you signed for, even if it was $1 million, is going to be like chump change compared to what you're losing by being signed to that shell of a record label. So, yeah, record labels are shells of themselves. Do you really need them? I would leave that up to you and your decision. I mean, some people don't really want to do the grind of doing everything alone or starting from scratch. So if you want to, basically get a head start, just understand that you can get a head start, but it's going to come at a price. Number 4, there are a lot of bottom feeders. So now this is more of the independent sort of, expertise or experience that I've, realized or experienced myself. The bottom feeders, I'll describe who the bottom feeders are. So playlist pitch people, people who send you random emails saying that, your music is great, and if you send them, $200 and something, they can do such and such for you, get you on such and such playlist, get you played on the radio, blah, 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 blah. People who say that they've, made it in the industry, although you don't have no clue, who they are, but they made it in the industry, and they can tell you their 3 tips on how to make it for just $29, and you need to buy their ebook to know exactly how to make it. But see, if they were really serious, they could give it to you like somebody is giving it to you. Yeah, those are bottom feeders. I mean, if a person is saying, hey, I have 10,000 streams on such and such playlist, or I got 1 million streams on such and such, streaming service, I can show you how I did it for $19.95. And I need your email, your best email. I'm going to need, a friend or two's emails, and I need you to follow my Instagram account, and then you can get it for $19. But it's usually $999. So this is a deal, Those are your bottom feeders. I think a lot of quote unquote influencers are bottom feeders also. Now, and DJs. Now, I know, I may be like exposing a lot of people, and I'm in the industry, and it may not be helping me much, but I'm helping you, and you have to look out for this. So influencers, say just people with a lot of followers who you may or may not be able to confirm that they're actually real people. They will say, well, my page has 80,000, 100,000, 500,000 followers, right? If you give me, $100, I'll make a post and have people, my followers, see that I am co-signing you, and in turn, they will see that I added you, and then they'll go to your page, and then, they'll follow you. Will they? Probably not. But under the agreement that you've made, you're basically giving them money to make a post. And as soon as they take your money and make that post, that was pretty much the deal. Anything that happens after that, they could care less, because they're going to do it again and again and again. That's how they make their money, because they're bottom feeders. Now, just because they're bottom feeders, I'm not saying that they can't make a lot of money. You do this, 4 times a day, 5 times a day, that's $500 a day for 5 posts. I'm not saying it's a bad living. I'm just saying it's shiesty. It's not really something that I would want to get into or want to do, but people do this. There's also people who have these Spotify and Apple Music and Tidal playlists, and they'll say, okay, well, just submit your track, and if we accept it, we'll put on our playlist and for a fee, you can be on the playlist, and we can put you in the top 10 of the playlist or the first one on the playlist, and we can't guarantee how many streams you get because that's against the rules. Okay, but isn't taking money for it against the rules also? Yes, absolutely. So more bottom feeders, more scam artists, more people who are not really representing themselves. So the playlist people are like a huge, huge, huge red flag, but there are some people out there who are good, and the only way that, in my experience, I've found to, see who's good and who's not is to actually lose a bit of money by getting got by these people who take money. Now, you live and you learn. I didn't really know, but I found out very quickly that, hey, why am I paying money that I can't even recoup through the streams I'm getting from these people? That doesn't make much sense. And if you ask the right questions, you can weed them out very quickly. So you say, you're going to promote my music. I'm not a playlist guy. I'm not a playlist girl. I promote music, period. Okay, cool. Well, how am I going to recoup what I'm giving you? Oh, it's not always about recouping. You don't really know what marketing is. I know exactly what marketing is. And marketing is to spend money to make money. More money. And if I'm giving you, now the prices vary. You can find somebody that'll do it for $100, and some prices go all the way up to $4,000, and you're at your own risk. I mean, it costs money to promote, but you can market yourself, and we'll get to that next. But let's just say, be careful with giving your money to people you really can't contact. They have a website, cool. That's okay. But who've used them? How long has the website existed? Why is there no telephone number? What email should I shoot a problem to or a question to if I had one? How long is it going to take for you to contact me after I, submit it? These are simple questions. If you selling me something, I should be able to get this, right? You would think so, but it's not always the case. And that's because we're dealing with bottom feeders. Shiesty managers who are looking to make a quick buck may get you to sign something that's just ridiculous, where there's I have all these contacts and you're new, so let's just, split everything 50-50. If it sounds fishy or it sounds bad, it is bad. If they come to you and they're talking too fast and they're not looking you in the eye, just walk away. Or don't respond to, their direct message or tweet or comment on your post or whatever it is. Just leave them alone. Don't sign anything. Get you, a lawyer to look at pretty much any piece of paperwork you get, because people are out to get you for whatever they can get out of you. It doesn't matter if it's $5 or $5,000. They're trying to get it. Be careful out there. Number 5, you can do it yourself. That's the biggest secret. You don't need much of anybody, especially in the beginning. Like, if you do music and you're actually a composer and you're a writer and you have access, or you can get access to a studio, then you should do that. Because being dependent on people is what gets you into signing these terrible deals and working with bottom feeders, or signing to bad record label deals or development deals or any type of deal. It's because you set yourself up to be in need more than setting yourself up to not be in need. And that is kind of, I would think, would be something that everybody does. You want to set yourself up to be independent or as independent as possible, but not everybody does it. you need to do it. If you are embarking on a career in music, whatever it is, it can be production, it could be rapping, it's singing, or maybe you're a dancer and you're a hip hop dancer, or you can do anything. You're a choreographer, but you need to be as independent as you can. Start up your own company, get an LLC, start up an S corp, get your real C corp. I mean, whatever, just look them up. Whatever is best for you. LLCs are very common, so that might be what you sway to. But understand that you can do it yourself. And it's best to do it yourself. That way, when you are getting to the point where you don't have the time to do it yourself, you can hire somebody, but you'll know what to expect. You'll know what's good work because you've done it yourself. Give yourself that sort of authority to where you can hire someone and say, hey, I'm not hiring you because I can't do this. I'm hiring you because I don't have time to do it. And now I will check your work. I will go over what you're doing. I will make sure you've done everything correctly. Now, if you find that person that does, then you need to put that person on your team, or at least make it known that we're going to work together a lot. Now, in my time in being, independent, which is, we're coming up on a year and a half, the people I find that are good, I stick with them. I have people who can market very well, but I also now know how to market. I've taught myself about Facebook ads and Google ads, and I know about, monetizing YouTube and Facebook. It's all, something that I've never thought I would get into because I just wanted to make music. I wanted to rap, make beats, rap, make beats. And that was pretty much it. But I went from rapping to making beats to mixing to mastering, then marketing. And I'm like, whoa, why do I have to do all this? But the better question is, why not? Why not do all of this? Now I know exactly what's right. I know what's the best way to market a new artist from scratch, because I was a new artist from scratch. I know what it's like to create a Facebook page and start at 0 likes. I know what it's like to start a YouTube channel and start at 0 subscribers with 0 hours. That is something that most people, I'm already putting myself at the top 1% in entertainment because most people don't know anything about that. I know rappers who I just want to rap. I just want to rap. Producers, I just want to make beats. I don't want to go out. I don't want to schmooze with nobody. I just want to make beats. That's it. Okay, but if that's it, then you're making yourself extremely dependent. That rapper now needs a producer. You need a studio. You need a mixer. You need a masterer. You need somebody to market it. Good luck, young man or young lady. Finding all them people at where you are at the start or even in the middle without paying a boatload of money out of your pocket because you're paying for that lack that you have to fill. Yes, you can just do this. You can just put yourself in this box. But when you put yourself in that box, but you're doing something that requires multiple boxes, now you got to get those multiple boxes and it's going to cost you. Just understand that you can do this yourself. You can do whatever it is you set your mind to. And that's not me talking to a child. I'm talking to an adult. I'm talking to whoever's watching this video. Whatever industry, if it's not the music industry, you can do it. You just need to do it. I mean, that's it, right? Drills Talk, episode 8. This was the top 5 reasons the music industry is not what you think. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It's drills.com. Check this out, it's Drills.